Hey, what's up? It's Mr. Dean, and man, I've just been in a slump recently, because recently there just haven't been any games that have captivated my attention like there used to be. I just wish there was something out there that had a variety of options in games that were fun and engaging. Anything like, I don't know, fishing, or counting these heads, or tanks. No way! Alright, so the Wii series of games is a fascinating one that I want to take a look at even more in depth in the future, but for now, our pit stop is Wii Play. Along with the rest of the Wii series, this is a tech demo at heart, which, oh man, does this game use the Wii Remote's motion controls. It definitely shows them off. That doesn't mean it's a good thing, no. Alright, now this has been mentioned many times before on the internet, but this game has sold a lot of units, along with many of the other Wii-titled games, but that is mainly due to bundles with consoles or Wii remotes. Usually people just kind of end up with these games rather than them seeking them out. Wii Play is remarkably simple and straightforward with its gameplay. No goofy character introducing you to the game like Wii Music. You just get right on in there with the ability to play the game. I don't think I've ever had more of a love-hate relationship with a game as I have with the games here. I either love playing them or they made me want to pull my hair out. Shooting range is kind of like Duck Hunt, where you have projectiles that you need to aim at and shoot. You use the Wii motion sensor to aim, and overall this is a pretty solid one. It feels pretty intuitive and responsive, well, at least by Wii motion control standards. I also like how it is split apart into different sections. One moment you are juggling a can back and forth for points, and then the next thing you know, the alien invasion is happening and you are saving Miis from being abducted. Supposedly people complain about this one being too short, which there are some games on here much more worthy of criticism than this. So in each of these games, when playing alone, you get a medal based on how good your performance is, with platinum being the highest. Here in shooting range, you need 600 points to get your platinum medal, which is definitely a task. The best way I found to go about this was to take your time aiming, as the game will give you extra points if you go on a streak of landing shots. So if you manage to successfully hit a target 70 times in a row without missing, then when you do miss, you will get 70 extra points. Next we got Find Me, which I just kind of suck at. It's fun and engaging, I'm just no good at this one. Basically a variety of prompts of increasing difficulty pop up, saying something like, find two Miis that look alike, or find the Mii that runs the fastest, or something along those lines. It starts out easy enough, but it quickly can turn into a dark room where you have to use that good old pal memory to aid you. When playing with someone else, this game is actually really fun and intense, but me being stupid, I just didn't really excel very much with this game. Every stage you do complete, you will get an additional 10 seconds added to a timer that is continuously counting down. Also, you lose 5 points if you guess incorrectly, so make sure to be careful when playing. For the platinum medal here, you need to complete 80 levels, and yeah, no. I got through 25 and I thought I had it in the bag, and then upon looking it up, I found out it was 80 and I got things to do. I can't always be playing I Spy with a Wii remote. Table tennis is probably the most stripped down version of, well, table tennis that is possible. Instead of actually swinging, you just point and let the game take care of that grueling work for you. Me personally, I prefer the motion aspect that table tennis has in Wii Sports Resort, but it's still pretty rock solid. Like I said, it isn't perfect, but playing it with another person is still a pretty good time. Occasionally you will kind of bobble the ball, leading to the other person doing kind of like a smash shot, assuming they hit it, but aside from that, there isn't a whole lot of depth to the gameplay. Aiming the ball is sort of possible if you are able to quickly swipe the Wii remote, but it definitely is far from consistently doable without a ton of practice. Now, as for table tennis, you need an entire rally of 200 to get the platinum, and why does the computer want to make this as physically difficult as possible? I swear the computer just has to hit it in the most inconvenient spots, not to mention how quickly the ball starts flying around. The worst part about this though is that you need to get 100 to get the gold medal, and that game stops you dead in your tracks and makes you repeat everything again. So basically you need to get to 100, which already isn't easy, twice, and then deal with the computer on insane mode. This is just gonna make me too mad. Let's just move on. Okay, Pose Me is where things start to get f***y. Basically, there are multiple different poses you cycle between, and you have to match up with what appears in the bubbles. You are supposed to successfully fill in each bubble before they reach the bottom, specifically the ones of your own color. This has you tilting the Wii remote, which I absolutely despise doing because it is so uncomfortable for my forearms. I would say with the traditional controller, this one could be fine, but no, I just still think it'd be really dumb. Also, why are there random JPEGs JPEGs of birds and flowers in the background. Why not just make it some aesthetic gradient or some kind of minimalistic design that looks good but isn't distracting? Literally the whole time I couldn't stop thinking about how stupid the backdrop was. Now I want to know what lunatic decided that 1800 points was necessary to get a platinum medal. My forearms felt like they were going to twist right off by 200 points, and this is actually just ridiculous. The game starts making you switch between different poses so quickly that I couldn't even visually see what was happening, and not to mention that you need to actually align them, and yeah, this is just going to be a hard pass for me. Maybe one day I'll collect that platinum medal for my resume, but today just is not that day. Laser hockey is one of those games that is by no means polished but pretty fun regardless. I really like the vibrant edges that's got mixed with the black backdrop. It creates this cool aura throughout the match. The game plays as your typical hockey style game where you have two players protecting a goal. You use your own little paperclip shaped cursor thing to hit the projectile back and forth. Is this game intuitive? Abso-fucking-lutely not, but it is so insane that it has a reverse effect of actually being really funny. There were definitely times where I felt like I had very little control over what happened, thanks in no small part to the sensor bar not really reading my Wii remote properly. Alright, so for laser hockey you need to score 14 points and good luck achieving this one. You got 2 full minutes, so you may be thinking, what's the problem with doing that? It sounds easy. Yeah, well, the computer very quickly progresses into being an NHL caliber goalie. Man, they really make you earn your platinum in these games, don't they? The fishing game sucks. I've heard a lot of people like this game and I just do not understand it. Maybe I am just very bad at this game, but using the motion controls takes what could be a very fun experience and turns it into an absolute nightmare. Basically, the goal of the game, as the title suggests, is to catch fish. Certain fish will pop up telling you which ones will fetch you the most points, so the premise is there, it's just the execution that I have a problem with. As with a lot of the stuff on the Wii, with Wii Play being no exception, motion controls killed this one for me, not the game itself. Well, I'm sure you can guess how my hunt for platinum went with this game. Here you need 2,600 points and no hard pass. Somehow playing this game alone made me hate it even more. Moving on. And somehow Billiards is even worse. Plus I like pool too, so this game had to be trying to get me to dislike it, yet here we are. This is a 9-ball pool game where you are instructed which ball to go for. The concept is simple enough, but those damn motion controls. I think it was in double digits the amount of times where the Wii remote just did not register my pool stick motion whatsoever. This is with Wii Motion Plus, by the way. Could this game have worked if done properly? I mean, of course. It is sort of fun to try to angle your shots, but the motion controls turn it from being a fun strategical game into a frustrating one. Now for the platinum, you need to score 60 points, and literally just how? Maybe I am just really stupid and I wasn't swinging the Wii remote correctly at all, but this just did not work. I got a measly 21 points and that's enough for me to call it a day, so I'm sorry. While so many non-platinum medals, my dignity has just been shot way down low from this. Finally, we do have a rinse of positivity with Charge, a bull riding game where you accumulate points by running into scarecrows. You hold the Wii remote sideways for this, which thank you, Nintendo. This actually controlled pretty well for the most part. You slightly skew the Wii remote forward to go faster, and steering it is just how you would expect by rotating the controller in either direction. You can also do a shake motion to jump over the occasional hurdle. This is by no means the best game here or anything, but at least it doesn't make me verbally say, let's just move on to the next one, because there were multiple games here that I just got excited to stop playing, which definitely is not a sign of liking a game. Okay, now we actually got a fun and achievable one again, for Charge. You need to amass 325 points, which is definitely not easy to do, but it is doable, and I did it, which should tell you all you need to know about how doable it really is. You get an extra point at the end for each second that you save, which is a nice little touch, but for platinum, you need to basically hit every single scarecrow, especially the red ones, as you get 10 points for each of those. Finally, we have tanks, which it is absolutely no secret that this is the best and most fleshed out game here by a landslide. Maybe fleshed out isn't necessarily the right word, but there is so much strategical value going on here. Essentially, it is a game of tanks where you have to go through an assortment of levels and you must take out the tanks that spawn in the level. You do use a nunchuck here, which makes it wildly comfortable to control, especially with the context of the other fuckery we dealt with a minute ago. You can press A to lay down a bomb that either detonates over time or by you shooting it. Also, there are a variety of enemy tanks that can spawn in, between tanks that also lay down bombs or tanks that shoot quick ricochets. This one is unironically fun to just try to see how far I could make it and, use my brain. Most of the games I was not even nearly as remotely invested as I was in this one. I mean, it's talked about to death, but this game carries Wii Play on its back. Here you need to take out 125 tanks and or reach mission 30, which I fully intend on doing eventually, as tanks is actually a really fun game. Occasionally you do get an extra life, which helps, but I definitely need to refresh my tanks abilities, as I had some washy level gameplay while recording. Okay, so this all begs the question of, does Wii Play successfully show off the Wii Remote's capabilities as a motion control device? I mean, I think that you can all infer my answer to that. Yeah, there are some cool moments in here, like the nunchuck use in tanks, sideways use in charge, or the pointing aspect of shooting range, but aside from that, I just got a huge side order of jank. If you are playing with a friend, it just kind of becomes fun by default, but that was definitely more so us laughing at it than with it. I will say that even with this game's faults, it was still a pretty charming game to play. Similar to Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, there was a bizarre sort of cuteness of the overall experience. I felt much more forgiving at many parts than I would have felt for many other games. Well, anyway, I'm just happy that this is it for Wii Play, and I won't have to make a video about anything like this going forward in the future. Oh,